Liverpool transfer news as Ibrahima Konate signing on fee demand revealed. The latest Liverpool transfer news and rumours as Ibrahima Konate's names his price to Real Madrid. While there's speculation over who could replace Cody Gakpo in the summer, Ibrahima Konate is reportedly eyeing an 8-figure signing on fee from whichever club he signs a contract with this summer. If he ends up leaving Liverpool, the French defender's current deal at Anfield is set to expire at the end of the season, and talks over an extension at Liverpool have not proved fruitful. He has been linked with a move to Real Madrid as a free agent in a deal similar to the one that took Trent Alexander-Arnold to the Spanish capital last year. Although a move to Madrid would technically be described as a free transfer, he certainly would not cost Los Blancos nothing at all. Spanish outlet Defensa Central says that Konate is eyeing a signing-on fee in Madrid of between €15 million, $17 million, and €18 million, $21 million. However, the report also adds that Madrid is not convinced about doing that, which could throw a spanner in the Frenchman's possible switch to the Bernabeu. The suggestion is that Madrid could look to extend the contract of Antonio Rudiger if Konate does not lower his demands, which could close the door on a move to Spain for the France international. Liverpool head coach Arne Slot confirmed in February that the club remained in talks with Konate over a new deal, although there has been no suggestion that a breakthrough in talks is imminent. "We are in talks with him, so that tells you what we want," Slot said. "It's clear we would like him to stay, but negotiations are ongoing, so let's see where that ends. We wouldn't be in negotiations if we didn't want him to stay." Meanwhile, Liverpool is being linked with a move to sign France international Magnès Akliouche, who currently plays for Monaco. The 24-year-old attacker made his Le Bleu debut last year, and Team Talk says he is being considered for a possible move to Liverpool in the event that Cody Gakpo departs the club. Gakpo is enduring a difficult season at Liverpool and has faced plenty of criticism from supporters for his disappointing output from the left flank. Akliouche is hardly prolific though, having scored just 7 goals in all competitions for Monaco this season. Anthony Gordon is named as another possible replacement for Gakpo, who is reported to be the subject of interest from Bundesliga outfit RB Leipzig. Michael Owen names only condition that will keep Arne Slot as Liverpool boss next season. Michael Owen spoke exclusively to Liverpool.com about the Reds' beleaguered head coach and the importance of the race for the Champions League places over the coming months. Michael Owen believes Arne Slot should be allowed to continue as Liverpool head coach if the Reds secure a Champions League finish this season. The Dutchman is under increasing pressure following Saturday's dire performance at Brighton, with the 2-1 loss at the Amex consigning Liverpool to a 10th league defeat of the season, its highest number in a decade. The Reds were helped by Chelsea's stumble at Everton, with Liam Rosenior's side beaten 3-0. That result means Liverpool remains in 5th place, a position which is likely to secure a spot in Europe's Premier competition, but it now trails 4th place Aston Villa by 5 points, while Manchester United sits 6 clear. With Liverpool alive in the FA Cup and the Champions League, the campaign could still end in silverware, but for most supporters, the weekly league disappointments have raised questions about Slot's position. However, Owen said that all the blame cannot be laid at the manager's door. Champions League football is essential for Liverpool, and if they get it, I believe Arne Slot has earned the right to continue, the former England international told Liverpool. Come via online casino comparison site casino.org. Yes, there are plenty of inconsistencies this season for Liverpool. You can blame the manager, the players, the recruitment, but it's small margins, as I believe on their day Liverpool have the best team in the league, but just haven't been able to show it as often as they would have liked. Such have been the inconsistencies of the sides competing for a Champions League place. Several unlikely outsiders have pushed their way into the race. Everton and Brentford now only trail Liverpool by 3 points, while Fulham is 4 points off the reigning champions. In terms of the Champions League race, Brentford and Everton are most certainly in it for sure, said Owen. It's an open race now for 4th and 5th spot, especially the latter, as only 3 points separate Liverpool from Everton and Brentford. Even more crucially, 6 of Liverpool's 7 remaining fixtures come against sides chasing a top 5 berth. The Reds face Fulham in the first league match after the international break, while games against Everton, United, Chelsea, Villa and Brentford follow in the coming weeks. Liverpool news: John W. Henry breaks social media silence as Federico Chiesa's statement issued Liverpool endured a 10th league defeat before their out-of-form squad headed for international duty, the international break, will feel a tad longer than a fortnight for Liverpool fans, following yet another stumble in the Premier League. The Reds lost 2-1 at Brighton on Saturday, marking a staggering 10th league defeat of the season. While the reigning league champions remain in the race for Champions League qualification for next season, they now sit 5 points behind fourth-placed Aston Villa, who got back to winning ways against West Ham on the weekend. With the likes of Everton, Manchester United, Chelsea, Brentford and Villa yet to play in their final 7 league games, Liverpool will need to change their fortunes and fast if they want to be in Europe's premier competition. Ahead of the 2-week reprieve for Reds fans, Mirror Football takes a look at John W. Henry's return to social media and Federico Chiesa's statement after his international return. John W. Henry message: the Liverpool owner is not one for social media, but the 76-year-old billionaire took to the X platform for the first time in 5 years to send a message to a Boston Globe reporter, the newspaper Henry has owned since 2014. Dan Shaughnessy, a Boston Red Sox columnist for the paper, U-turned on his criticism of NESN, a television network that is 80% owned by Fenway Sports Group, after admitting he misunderstood a story. Replying to the reporter's post, Henry simply wrote, "Historic." While it's not known what the businessman meant by his post, it may be possible that he was joking about the reporter switching stances. Henry's wife, Liza Pizzuti, is a regular user of social media, and last October she posted on Instagram to mark the 15-year anniversary of FSG's reign at Liverpool. A portion of her message read, "My first tweet about LFC 15 years ago was asking this amazing community about what songs I needed to learn for my first trip to Anfield. In our 15 years together, we have shared our own painful moments, epic comebacks, heartbreaking tragedies, and new historic triumphs. We made new legends and added new stories to the historic lore of this world-famous club, and we collected some lovely new silver of all shapes and sizes." Federico Chiesa statement: Federico Chiesa hasn't had much luck since his move to Liverpool, and this shows no signs of improving after he pulled out of the Italy squad just days after being called up to the national team for the first time in almost 2 years. The 29-year-old was chosen by Gennaro Gattuso for the World Cup qualifier against Northern Ireland on Thursday and a possible playoff final match against the winner of Wales and Bosnia and Herzegovina. However, the winger has withdrawn from the squad due to fitness concerns, which have hampered his career progress since his move to Anfield in 2024. The Italian FA wrote in a statement, Federico Chiesa was assessed on arrival at the Federal Technical Centre and deemed unavailable for the next 2 matches. In agreement with his club, he has left the squad. Bologna winger Niccolò Cambiaghi has been called up as his replacement. Chiesa previously told Gattuso not to select him unless he was 100%. The forward has yet to represent his country since his £10 million move to the Reds from Juventus, with his last games for Italy coming at Euro 2024. Hugo Ekitike spotted for first time since Liverpool injury scare. As he breaks cover, Liverpool striker Hugo Ekitike has joined France's squad despite suffering a dead leg in the Reds' damaging 2-1 Premier League defeat to Brighton on Saturday. Liverpool forward Hugo Ekitike has linked up with the French squad despite being substituted due to a dead leg during the 2-1 loss against Brighton. Hove Albion, the French international, raised new injury concerns for Arne Slot after he visibly limped off following an early challenge by ex-Reds midfielder James Milner. Ekitike was seen cautiously entering Les Bleus' Clairefontaine camp today, boots in hand ahead of their preparations in America. The 2018 World Cup champions travel to the United States this week to take on Brazil and Colombia. Since December, Liverpool have been missing Alexander Isak, who broke his leg in a match against Tottenham Hotspur. The Swedish player is nearing his return, but an injury to Ekitike would leave the Reds notably thin in central attacking positions. The 23-year-old is Liverpool's leading scorer with 17 goals and 6 assists across all competitions, including 11 in his debut Premier League season. The ex-Eintracht Frankfurt forward earned his first senior call-up in September, where he made a strong impression for the 2-time winners of the esteemed international competition and has been selected in the last 3 squads. Hugo Ekitike is also gaining confidence, France boss Didier Deschamps said in November. He's a young player with a lot of dynamism. He has the ability to break through with his speed. These are attacking elements that are adding to the squad. France will tour the region of North America during this international break, facing Carlo Ancelotti's Brazil at Foxborough's Gillette Stadium on the 26th of March before taking on Colombia at Landover's Northwest Stadium on March 29th. Ekitike has started just 2 games for his nation, with Kylian Mbappe, the #1 striker, This month he will compete alongside Mbappe, Marcus Thuram, Ousmane Dembele and Randall Kolo Muani. All eyes will be on the travelling party to America later this week to see if Ekitike is involved in the double-header. Liverpool's players have been found out too many times. They won't get away with it at Everton. In the second part of his weekly Echo column, John Aldridge raises his concerns and makes a key centre-forward point. One of the issues Liverpool has had to deal with this season is that other teams have studied their players and identified ways to counter them. They find faults or how to double up on them or make it easy to play against them. This can happen with any top side, but if you've still got good players, you pass and move, and if you've got a good football brain, you still come out on top. That's what teams have done when you repetitively win the league. But we've been totally caught out. We're so predictable, and we have been all season. It started at the end of last season, and the manager has got to come up with answers. The good news for Liverpool is that the league is not great this season, with the likes of Chelsea also struggling for form. With all due respect, Everton are 3 points behind Liverpool. Then you've got Brentford. These teams are all vying for European qualification, and they've hardly spent compared to Liverpool. Their managers are doing a great job, but with the players at their disposal, Liverpool have fallen far too short. The amount of games we've been beaten in is ridiculous. There's some many questions about this Liverpool side and not enough answers. Liverpool must improve before the derby, or else the Merseyside derby is on the horizon, and as things stand, unless the Reds can get their act together, Everton will outfight us and outmuscle us. They've got to realise that. That's what Everton are good at. I was very impressed with them against Chelsea. David Moyes knows the score. He's been around the block a few times. He knows what's needed. They do their due diligence. He'll know how to get to Liverpool. If the Reds don't roll their sleeves up, they'll come a cropper. Too many games excuse won't wash. It's not ideal that Liverpool had to play at Saturday lunchtime after competing in the Champions League on Wednesday, but you just have to get on with it. They're doing that because of the TV deals, and that's why players are on £200,000 a week and the manager is on loads of money as well. The TV revenue pays for that, so you've just got to take it on the chin and use it as a mindset. You can't make excuses. Proper centre-forward play required. Alexander Isak could be back in action for Liverpool soon, and he could bring us something that we don't currently have in the team. What we need is a centre-forward who doesn't come off the back four. We've got a lot of good players and play a lot of good football, but whether it's Hugo Ekitike or Isak, the centre-forward doesn't need to come into midfield. He needs to play along the line of the back four. We don't currently do that. We don't push them back. We want one or two little touches in the midfield area, and if no one is getting ahead of them like Wirtz or one of the wingers, then the opposition has got nothing to defend. It's one of the things I think we've been going wrong with all season. You've got to push your opponent back and have a player on their toes. We've got centre forwards who are coming off that last line and they're not even getting in the box when the ball's coming in. It's something that they really need to rectify. Champions League hopes in the balance. When I look at Liverpool's Premier League run-in, I think we can win our home games, but I can't see us winning an away game. At this present moment in time, I just can't see us going to Everton, Man United and Villa and picking up 5 or 6 points. All we can do is hope. But at this moment in time, I'm losing all hope. World Cup dreams still alive. Finally, the Republic of Ireland are in action on Thursday when they face the Czech Republic in a World Cup playoff. It's going to be tough, but we went to Hungary and did really well. We've got to replicate that. Troy Parrott has been brilliant for us, and defensively we've been really good. If we can get past the Czechs, at least the final playoff match will be in Dublin. It would be unbelievable if we could get there. It would be brilliant. The Irish fans are unbelievable and they deserve it. Alexander Isak linked with unthinkable Liverpool exit after forward's record-breaking £125 million deal. Liverpool paid £125 million for Alexander Isak last summer. The Swedish No-9 came in with a reputation as one of the best strikers in the Premier League, hitting 23 goals for Newcastle in 2024-25. After much wrangling over the summer, the 26-year-old finally arrived for a British record fee on transfer deadline day. Unfortunately for Liverpool and their new acquisition, little has gone to plan during his Anfield career thus far. Isak has scored only twice in the Premier League during his debut season, with injury severely affecting his debut campaign. Unfit when he arrived, the forward was sidelined through the autumn with a muscle injury, but worse was to follow when he broke his leg against Tottenham over the festive period. Isak hasn't been seen since missing out on a place in Sweden's FIFA World Cup playoff semi-final this week against Ukraine. Isak's injury nightmare nightmare. The Liverpool striker is expected back shortly after this international window, but there are already question marks against his continuity as a Liverpool player. Despite signing a 6-year deal, Atletico Madrid are now sensing an opportunity to capture Isak and help him regain his best form. According to a report in Fichajes, Liverpool would consider a cut price sale of around €100 million, £86.5 million, but Diego Simeone's side have no intention of paying that much. The Rojiblancos instead would like a loan with a purchase option, with big changes in their front line to come owing to Antoine Griezmann's transfer to MLS. Isak wanted for Atleti deal. Alexander Isak has emerged as an interesting option, the report reads. The club believes he can rediscover his best form in La Liga. The English club doesn't want to lose money and is asking for close to €100 million. Atletico Madrid is unwilling to pay that amount. Their strategy involves negotiating a loan with a favourable purchase option. These are outlandish reports and must be taken with a pinch of salt. But due to Isak's injuries, we may not see the best of him until next season. He has been outshone by Hugo Ekitike in his debut campaign and must overcome the challenge of the Frenchman in order to regain his starting place. Otherwise, an early exit might well be on the cards.